What's up, everybody? Welcome to a special Monday edition live episode of the Hot Mic. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by a man who's wearing a dapper hat, looking damn good over there, the insider himself, Jeff Sneider.
Hello, Johnny boy!
What is that? What is that? Your Superman outfit? Is that what that curl is and the glasses? I didn't recognize you, Jeff. I thought you were Clark Kent.
I am Clark Kent and John Rocha.
At the same time. Oh, I see. I get it. I wish I could get the curl like you do. That would be awesome.
You could have tried. You could have made an effort today.
That's right. You're right. You're 100% correct. I apologize profusely. Well, welcome to everybody who's joining us. Almost 200 of you joining us live right now already, right off the bat. Thank you so much. Special Monday episode of the Hot Mic. We are diving into all things Superman and maybe a couple other stories as we go along today. But certainly, Jeff, Superman is out in theaters, so we're going to give our review. We're going to talk about some of the box office controversies that have been going on, the battles that have been going on. We're going to talk about what's next for DC and what we see might be happening next and how they should be looking at this movie now after the opening weekend. How are you? How are things?
Oh, I'm good, Johnny boy.
Yeah?
Okay. Good, because I just saw an incredible action movie.
Oh, really? What did you see? Can you talk about
States with John Cena and Idris Elba?
Okay. How is Priyanka Chopra? And don't lie.
She was fine. At least I'd buy her kicking some ass.
I guess. She's not waifish. Is that what you mean? Like someone who's too skinny, they can't do it.
Exactly. She looks like she could handle herself in a fight, but no one's going to mistake her for Meryl Streep.
No, not even Meryl Streep's daughter, maybe. But yeah, so we're going to get into all of that. Please remember the Streamlabs, the Superchats are open. Send in your love, send in your support. We're keeping this show to about 90 minutes or less. We'll see how it goes, but send in your questions and stuff through the Streamlabs Superchats, and I'll pin it in the chat description of the video. But Jeff, let's get to it. Jeff, this is Superman. This is a bit of a spoiler review, so just letting you know now, if you haven't seen the movie, we are going to spoil the movie and have our discussion on the film. Some of you have seen my Geek Buddy. Some of you heard me with Christian Harloff, but you haven't heard me with Jeff Sneider, and you want to hear what Jeff Sneider has to say about this movie. So it is out in theaters this weekend, Jeff, making over 200 million plus globally for an opening weekend here. 84%, 82% on Rotten Tomatoes with the critics, but 90 to 95% on the audience score. A lot of positive reactions to this movie, but we haven't heard from you fully here on the show. So, Jeff Sneider, what is your thoughts? What are your thoughts overall on Superman before we get into this?
For me, I haven't even tweeted about it.
Wow. Okay. Yes.
Everybody was wrong.
What? How so?
The haters were wrong.
Wow.
This movie's not hateable.
Yes.
The people doing cartwheels were wrong. This movie's not lovable.
Okay.
The movie was fine. It was better than I expected.
Okay.
I went into it with muted expectations.
Right.
Final grade. Well, I'm doing a big thing for the newsletter tonight, so I'll keep the grade and the star rating and all that out for now. But
okay.
I liked it.
You did. You did like it.
I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it because of the cast. The cast, to me, is the selling point here.
Who among the cast is a selling point? What is it about?
David was fantastic. I thought David was great. That just proved to be a great choice.
David Cornsweet. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. David Cornsweet. There are things I don't love about it for sure. Particularly the second act. But I can't sit there from the point of view of someone who I grew up reading Superman comics and I know what would make a great Superman movie because I didn't read the comics. So I don't know what would make it. I mean, it seemed like it was a good Superman movie. It seemed like James Gunn was delivering Superman fans everything that they wanted.
Yeah.
Sometimes he delivered a little too much. I do think the criticisms about it being overstuffed, it's a drawback that this movie is saddled with the responsibility of having to set up a universe. I wish it could just exist on its own and not have to have 8 zillion tendrils that can go in 8 zillion different directions.
Well, okay, so I'll go specifics then. a lot of people have come out and said that they thought the plot was messy. Did you think the plot was messy, or did it work for you? Were you able to follow it? Because you're not a big comic book reader, at least for current stuff. So were you able to follow along with the multiple characters that are being thrown at us throughout the movie? Not much motivation, not much background. Did you get what was happening?
Yes, I definitely got it. I my problems with the script weren't that I couldn't follow what was going on. And for a movie that moves as fast as it does, like, I thought it's very well paced. And it's like, that's the thing. It's like, overall, I'll put it this way.
Yeah.
Overall, I think this is a better movie than Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning and Jurassic Rebirth.
Oh,
I think this is a better movie overall, even though Mission Impossible has 2 action scenes in it that I don't think anything in Superman can touch. And even I think Jurassic World has better action sequences. I didn't love the action here. It's a lot of video game playing, essentially, with Lex Luthor being A1. That's not, and that is why I didn't love Lex as much as some other people who I respect.
Get into it. Why didn't you like Lex?
I mean, he's not really a physical threat, right?
Yeah. Well, then again, no one really is, other than maybe himself, as we find out later.
He's getting his ass kicked up and down this movie, Superman. But like, then make Ultra. I mean, I don't know, make Ultraman a full blown villain or something. He's just like an arm of Lex Luthor. So I didn't love that this is a villain who can't really like compete with him on a physical level, and even on a mental level. While he certainly has some clever schemes, I didn't think of him as like some evil genius.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
what about? Okay, go ahead.
For me.
Did you like the way they put it together, though, that he's like a frustrated man-child? You got the allusions to Elon Musk, or those type of billionaires, rather, to use a well-known one. Did you like the fact that he had a team of people doing his bidding? Did you like the pocket universe stuff, the stuff with the monkeys?
No, this is the thing. It's like, I didn't like any of that comic book shit. I like when this movie deals with like human beings and real relationships, right?
Okay.
So no to what was it you just said? The what? The Proton River? Right. Pocket universes, proton rivers, black holes. That's when this shit feels like a generic comic book movie. It feels like any other DC movie or like any Marvel movie, really.
Yeah.
And that's when it stops feeling special to me, is when it gets all comic booky. But it does that, with pride and wearing its heart on its sleeve to some extent.
Yeah. Now, what about the relationship between Clark?
You love all that? You're like, yes, a pocket universe. I've waited 40 years to see a pocket universe.
No, I just thought that I liked the way they presented it. Yes, for me as a comic book nerd, that kind of stuff was cool to see. And I thought the way they handled it worked well because they didn't make a big deal out of it. It just was. You know what? Luthor didn't go, look at my pocket universe that I've created. It was more like, yeah, man, I'm in pocket universes. And yeah, these motherfuckers pissed me off. So I put them in jail. And yeah, I've stolen your kid and I'm torturing you so that you do what I tell you to do. So I can manipulate you and use you. And so for me, and even the monkey scene was only like 15 to 20 seconds of the movie. I see people like tearing their shirts and yelling at the sky over the monkey scene. It's like, it's 20 seconds in the movie. They don't make a big deal out of it. They walk right by it. You see what they're doing. And
it's not just 20 seconds because that it hovers over everything. It hovers over his attitude, the way that, that he's being perceived. Like he clearly has a beef.
That Luthor has a beef with Superman. Yes, but that's
no. That Superman has a beef with how he's portrayed online. And that's because he doesn't know that there's an army of monkeys, doing that. Right. But like that has repercussions over the entire movie.
But we never go back to the monkeys. Like, he doesn't go back. I'm saying he doesn't go back to destroy the monkeys or destroy the computer or make some kind of big grandstand over it. It's not a big deal. He doesn't make a big deal out of it once he sees the monkeys. There are bigger things to deal with, and he doesn't try to destroy the situation.
I felt like the monkeys were a real misstep, and the kind of thing that you'll see more of if James Gunn doesn't check himself a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
And so like I listened to a few different podcasts. I may have read like too much and listened to too much this weekend before tonight. But I completely agreed with Sean Fennessy at The Ringer when he was like, this Superman is James Gunn.
Yes, 100%. And listen, with our criticism of James Gunn over the last few weeks, I have held back saying the same thing, but it's very clear that James Gunn sees himself as Superman. And what you got in Superman was James Gunn. This is James Gunn as Superman, not James Gunn's Superman. James Gunn as Superman.
It's a problem. Like whenever that stuff started to bleed into it, it's not that it wasn't well done, because it was kind of a clever take and a bold take, and I'll give him credit for it. But it's also like, this isn't like this is like you getting revenge on your critics by depicting them as monkeys, essentially.
Right.
And I just thought it was silly.
Yeah. And he has a point of view on who he thinks Superman is, and it is an extension of himself, right? Even some of the stuff, even him like raging a little bit at Lois in the interview process. I bet there are numerous interviews where James has wanted to be like, well, no, I'm doing the right thing. Don't you understand? And even recently when he said, sometimes I have to tell David to shut the fuck up on the set when he's asking so many questions. So I agree with you. He made Superman, in essence, a version of himself in the movie. He still touched on and checked the boxes and honored the lore and the mythology that had come before, and the energy of that Superman that we've seen that a lot of people still love, that playful type of a Superman who does good, always thinks he's doing good and all of that. But he threw in little Gunnisms throughout the whole movie that are reflective of who he is as a person. So I totally agree with Fantasy. I was thinking the same thing for a couple of weeks.
He just seems perpetually aggrieved, and this is like a bit of an emo Superman. And I haven't seen any of the Spotify playlists, but apparently that's all that, Superman's playlist is. It's like, Dashboard Confessional songs or whatever. But at the same time, like I think that's a very real thing that we're all, a lot of people were the victims of our own stories in some sense. And we all feel that pile on. And so it was strangely like relatable, maybe I've undergone and, I've had the internet come after me in a way that James Gunn has, which makes us, brothers to some extent. But I liked that Lois wasn't like a damsel in distress.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Did you like the way Rachel Brosnahan played Lois Lane in this movie? Did you like the connective tissues between the two of them? Did you like the way they worked together in the film, or did you feel the chemistry was missing between them?
No, I thought they had chemistry. I mean, I wanted, a little bit more of her.
Yes, I agree with that.
And that's the problem with the movie's only 2 hours, which is nice. That was refreshing. I'm glad this wasn't a 2 hour and 30 or 40 minute fucking comic book movie. We don't need that. But that is one of the things that gets lost when you still have to set up a universe and you have all these supporting characters. The main characters don't get as much screen time as maybe they should.
Yeah.
And so I think that she fell victim to that. And that kind of happened with the entire Daily Planet. I mean, I would have liked more at the Daily Planet and more from him as Clark Kent, rather than just smashing stuff. But like Perry White, he was like barely in this.
Yeah, it was shocking to me because he's such a damn good actor, and to kind of bury him a little bit in the, and look, he owned every scene he was in when he actually got to be on screen. So he was a great choice for Perry White. He's so good in The Wire, so good on Elsbeth, and so you wonder why he took the role if it was going to be this small. But then you hear, that the stories have come out that they cut 20 to 30 minutes out of the movie, and I imagine there were more scenes with him.
100%. I think you're absolutely right. I think that's the stuff that probably was the Daily Planet stuff. I really liked Skylar Gisondo as Jimmy Olsen. He was fantastic, and I liked everything with Tess Smocker. Sarah Sanders was great. I thought she gave one of the best performances in the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think she was really fun. So that because when the turn happens, and she has the conversation with him over the phone, and then later when they meet up, she is hilarious in the way she's doing it. So if the rumors are true that James Gunn wants to do a Jimmy Olsen series, she has to be a part of it. She is so important in the film to what he's doing that their on again, off again relationship has to be an element of that show if they're going to do that. Because I would love to see more between the both of them.
Yeah, I mean, I love the visual gag throughout the movie that he's like some sort of ladies' man, and all the women are like whispering in the halls as he passes by. So like I like the staff of the Daily Planet. I want to see more from them. I liked Beck Bennett.
I was just going to ask you, what about your superstar Beck Bennett, the one that everybody knows in the world?
He did a great job. I thought he was like perfect. But I wanted a little bit more from him.
Yeah, he was fun.
Cat Grant also, there's like nothing from Cat Grant except that she's just a push-up bra, a walking push-up bra, basically.
Yeah, it was a weird thing to have in the movie if you weren't gonna do something with that. So yeah, it was again. I think you're probably right that the 20 minutes were mostly from the Daily Planet stuff. That was something that I thought was lacking. So yeah. But what about with the whole Beck Bennett thing? Like a lot of people said. I saw some people say rather that they reminded him of Bulldog from Frasier, that kind of energy. So yeah, getting more time with him. Do you think a Daily Planet series is the way to go with this? Not necessarily a Jimmy Olsen series. What about a Daily Planet series kind of led by Jimmy Olsen?
I think that would be great. I think that is the way to go, John. I think it's a perfect idea.
Right.
I'd watch that show.
Yeah. I'd watch 10 episodes of that show absolutely in a heartbeat. If they were to do that on Max or something, because it wouldn't have to be like prestige television. It's just a fun show that's connected to Superman. I
like that it showed how far finally a male reporter will go for the story. He's willing to flirt, and yeah, I mean, because you always see female reporters sleeping with their sources. You know what? Men can do it too.
Yeah, everybody who went after Richard Jewell. What about the stuff with Ma and Pa Kent? Did you like that? Some people have pushed back on that and saying that they portrayed him as these bumpkins, these yokels. Other people like me feel like they were a really honest portrayal of people who are part of our country and in our world and who are not simple in terms of stupid, simple in terms of understanding what's right, what's wrong, what's good, and what's evil. And they're just kind of people who aren't necessarily technologically proficient, but they know what's important in life. So did you like the way they were portrayed in those scenes with Ma and Pa Kent?
These are all nice words coming out of your mouth, but no, it's all like a great idea, but I thought it was silly.
Really? Damn.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like Hollywood's take on what the Midwest is.
Okay. But James grew up in the Midwest. James is from the Midwest.
First of all, I knew that'd be the first thing that he said. Well, actually, my whole family's from so-and-so. I thought he portrayed them as like, yokels and rubes. Okay. But most importantly, I don't even give a shit how they portray them.
All right, fair point.
But the problem that I had was that to me, it didn't feel like those two would raise this kid.
Oh, I gotcha.
It didn't. They didn't feel like they were related. They didn't feel like a family.
I think that's a good. If you're going to have a criticism about it, I think that's a criticism that I could actually understand and connect to and see logic in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a fair point. Honestly, when you look at it. What about the stuff with Bradley Cooper, Jor-El and Laura? A lot of controversy over that. Like his message to basically impregnate as many Earth women as possible and then lord over it and create your own harems. Did you like the way that played out? Do you think that's true? A lot of people are saying that down the road it'll be proven that it wasn't his actual message. What did you think about that?
I'm confused what to think, which I don't think is a good thing. I don't want down the road we're gonna find this out. It's gonna be aha. I want to know, is it real or is it not? And I have to say that watching the movie, I thought it was fake. I thought it was very clear that this is not what Bradley Cooper's actually saying, and that Lex has sort of paid off the world's top 28 linguists. But then I guess Mr. Terrific confirms it. And then you're like, oh, maybe it is real. And people are saying it's real.
Right.
So that kind of matters. And I think we should know, because I think the first inclination watching that is that no, Lex is lying.
Right. Now, what about the Justice Gang? Did you like this with Guy Gardner there, Hawkgirl, and you mentioned Mr. Terrific. So Eddie Gathegi.
I liked him overall, but Hawkgirl did nothing for me.
Right. So she wasn't given much to do, unfortunately. It's part of the cuts.
I liked Guy Gardner.
Okay. Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, I thought it was like he, walked out of another era. I thought he was decent comic relief. And it was nice to see somebody go toe to toe with Superman.
Yeah.
You want to fucking dance, big boy? Like, let's do it. Because Ultraman doesn't speak.
No.
The engineer is no match.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's like I actually appreciated the tension there between him and Guy Gardner. And Mr. Terrific was good. I understand how people were calling him a scene stealer.
Yep.
A little tough to figure out, but I could see why Gunn may want to, end up doing something with the Terrifics. That could be a spinoff for sure. I liked him. He was good.
Okay. Now, what about the way they handled this conflict in the movie? It's a big deal, this conflict. The guy who's playing the leader of Boravia, playing your stereotypical Eastern European comical played for laughs leader. But the conflict itself has, felt very much topical with what's going on with Israel and Palestine, Hamas with Ukraine and Russia. So did you think the way they handled that was a little childish, or do you think it worked for what they were trying to achieve with Superman and giving him this conflict to deal with real world wise?
I think it worked in the context of the movie.
Okay.
It wasn't particularly exciting. I didn't care when the people were saved or what, I just don't care. I'm not very political. Okay. And yeah, it was just vague enough to resemble those real world situations, however, whichever one you want to compare it to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't care about these two feuding governments and what's going to happen to the people with the pitchforks.
But it was effective in the movie, is what you're saying. It was effective for what it was trying to do in the movie.
Yes, yes, as a piece of writing, it makes sense to me, and particularly with the themes that this movie's trying to illuminate.
Yeah. Were you surprised by anything when you were watching the movie? Were you surprised at some of the twists and turns, any of the moments, any of the stuff like the metamorpho thing? Did you like that? Like with these things in the film that were kind of unusual or kind of out of left field, did those work for you, or any of them stand out for you to discuss?
I can't say I was particularly surprised by much, but I will say that I really liked the score. I was surprised how much I liked the score, and not the score that leans on the theme.
Right, the old theme
like
from
darker, kind of electronic, if you will.
Yeah,
some of that stuff I really liked. So the music surprised me.
Who is the composer? Is it John Murphy or is it the other? Because you reported that it was David Fleming. Who is the?
There's two guys credited. I think it's both of them.
Yeah, David Fleming and John Murphy. So yeah, who was replaced? Was it John Murphy was replaced by David Fleming, or was it somebody else?
I have no idea.
Okay, all right.
Don't care. What else is there? I mean, Crypto.
Yeah, Crypto. You talk about Crypto. Go ahead.
I found a little annoying.
You did?
Yeah.
What? Wow.
Yeah. Like,
okay.
Especially like at the end when it's like Crypto basically beating up Lex Luthor. Like, that's not what I want to see. What?
Well, because you can't have Superman beat up Lex Luthor. That doesn't make sense. Because he's a Superman. He would put his fist right through him with one punch. You don't want to see that.
That's exactly what I want to see. But
well, I just don't think that was the point of the movie, to show Superman beating the crap out of Lex Luthor. The dog handling as an agent of Superman and dishing out the beating worked much better, because dogs rarely get to dish out beatings on human beings. So I think that worked much better.
Super dog. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I liked the Crypto thing. I thought it worked really well. I did not like it in the trailer. So I was really worried about whether I was going to enjoy the film. And I think they made it work. And you actually kind of cared about the dog. Well, what about the Supergirl cameo? Some people, that has split some people who hated that when she came in. It was like, thanks for taking care of my dog, bitch. And then rolled out. Like,
I don't love her.
Millie Alcock?
Yeah, you heard me. Not loving her, and don't know if I'm even going to see that movie.
Wait, what? What if Superman is in that movie?
I mean, if I see it, it'll be out of some obligation to be like a completist as far as Gunn's DCU. But like, if you told me, oh, that movie's coming out in September,
yeah,
I don't know if I don't know, man. And that's the other thing about this movie. While I did like it, and while
Yes.
it was better than I expected, I can confidently say, John,
Yeah.
I'll never ever see this thing again.
Really? Even though you liked it for the most part.
I spoke to my brother, same thing. Like, this just has zero rewatchability value for me. Absolute zero. Dark Knight, I can see multiple times. Logan, Kick-Ass. I'm a big Kick-Ass guy. I could never picture myself watching this again.
Wow. Liam, if you're going to make stupid comments like this, just get out of here. Just get out. I don't need this.
I'm a proud misogynist, Liam. Now fuck off. Goodbye.
Yeah, just get out of here with your bullshit. Jesus Christ. I hate that.
What was the misogynist? What part?
Nothing is a misogynist. He's a moron, and he thinks if you criticize any female, you're a misogynist. Get the fuck out.
I'm an equalitist. All these ists and isms. Maybe stop thinking like that. That's the internet trying to influence your brain.
Yeah, because to counter you, I liked Millie Alcock. I like her as an actress, and I like her in this role. And I thought that scene was great. I was immediately like, show me that Supergirl movie. So I'm in, and I haven't even read the Tom King book, which I have sitting over here. I got to finish that. I got to read that once and for all. So to counter you, I did like it, and I'm into it.
So, the bad guy, right?
What's that?
Schoenart's the bad guy.
Yeah, Schoenartz is the bad guy in that.
That's why I'll see Supergirl, because Schoenartz is one of the most interesting actors that we have. So that's what it was about, me not liking Millie Alcock. Who gives a fuck?
I think it's what what about the thing at the end, the action set piece with the splitting of Brooklyn and the essentially that whatever river that it was that they were using there? Did that seem like it worked, or did it kind of feel like, you got to give them something to kind of be upset about and try to put back together? Did you like that?
What are you talking about? The
river, when the river comes through the black hole into the actual New York and it's splitting it in half. Did that have the tension that you feel like something like that should have at the end of a Superman movie?
No, it was CGI garbage.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I liked it as a metaphor in terms of like the world is being divided in two.
Yeah.
As a visual metaphor, but like, again, all the stuff, portals, and it's all nonsense.
Okay. Now, what about Ultraman? Did you like the Ultraman reveal? Did you enjoy that? The fact that he didn't?
I didn't care. I who cares? Like, I don't even know. He's a mute guy. Like, I like the guy on The Boys. He at least had a backstory. And
Black Noir. Right. Yeah.
Ultraman did nothing for me. And what was the end with the post credit with Mr. Terrific, and they're looking at a fucking crack in the wall?
That was just a ball busting because James Gunn hates post credit scenes. So this was his way of like showing you how much he hates them. He had a sweet one with Crypto, and then it has him busting his balls about not lining it up correctly, which I think was just to push Eddie Gathegi even more because he clearly discovered that he enjoyed him in the film and his performance in the film. But okay, so do you have a favorite scene or a favorite moment, a favorite line, anything that in that movie? So this is, you're not going to go see it. Oh, what did you think of him killing this dude? Like flat out shooting him in the head and killing him. What did you think of that trope, that cliche?
What, Lex killing him?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Lex should be doing more of. He should be executing people. He's a bad dude.
More of that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I want to see Lex Luthor's supposed to be the most evil dude, not like bald James Bond or something. I mean, I don't know.
How was Otis? Did you like Otis?
Who the fuck is Otis?
The black dude that was helping Lex, the dopey dude that was with the team of AI people. He was kind of in charge of them. No, you don't remember any of that? Okay.
Glasses, the guy who looked like the pitcher from Everybody Wants Some?
No, not that guy. The black dude, the kind of slightly heavy black dude who was helping him. You know what I'm talking about? No? All right. I guess you didn't remember that.
I don't see color.
That was a
I see characters.
Okay.
I don't recall that one.
Yeah. All right.
Like this movie, just like, I don't know. It was fine.
Okay.
It was fine.
I clearly enjoyed it more than you, and enjoyed the film more than you, but because I think it felt like it felt like a fun, joyful, yes, goofy, comic booky, silly, but still a film about something and making a commentary about something while also being very clear about Superman and who he is. Did you like the Superman as punk rock? Did you like the punk rock as kindness? Did you like any of that stuff? And what about the action sequences with like the needle drop with Mr. Terrific and the dome over Lois and him fighting off all those people at
I
the
like
camp?
I like that stylistic moment actually, and because Heads of State has a couple of cool moments like that are very stylized.
Yes.
I just think that you have to do something to stand out. So you're right. That moment was cool. The whole punk rock thing.
Yeah.
It was okay. I mean, punk rock is kindness. I think more what punk rock really is like about being vulnerable. And having the balls to be yourself, and but like kindness, I don't know, like it's a little cheap.
All right. Very good. Anything more you want to say on the movie? Anything? Final words?
Talk about like the business of it all, and like
I want to move on to that, but I want to separate this out as a separate. So yeah,
exactly. Movie wise, I don't know what else people want me to say. Like it was a movie.
There we go. It's a movie. And you'll deliver your score in your newsletter tonight.
Again, I think people will be pleasantly surprised by what I'm gonna give it. Because again, I unfortunately it doesn't get to exist as just a movie. No. Right? It has to double as a franchise starter, and I think in that regard, it's actually a good foundation.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so let's move on to the business of the movie. So it made a little over 220 million over the weekend in its first weekend. The domestic numbers are good, not great. They're very good, not great. But the international numbers are troubling, only 95 million overall by the time it was done this weekend. And so there's people who are defending it, saying this is a really great number because of what's going on in the world of superhero movies and where we are now post-pandemic as a box office society. And then there's other people saying this is actually kind of a lower performing Superman movie, and it could be in some trouble in the next couple of weeks because Jurassic World held strong, crossing $530 million over the weekend. Fantastic Four is out in 11 days. So how do you take the box office over the weekend for this movie? What do you think it signifies? And do you think it's going to have legs to get to 600-700 million?
Definitely not going to hit 700 million, I don't think.
Okay. What about 500 million, which is Warner Brothers saying they would be happy with that?
I think it will probably hit 500. But at the same time, I don't think this is a great opening for the movie. I said, I'm going to say, I'm going to call it good, but not great.
Okay.
But when you go deeper into the numbers, I don't think it's a great opening. It opened lower than Man of Steel, and it opened, come on. And it just clearly sold less tickets than Man of Steel, and obviously the Donner movie. Although, like I said last week, it's silly to compare this to a movie from 1978. Sure. But if you adjust for inflation, then Man of Steel opens to 170 something.
Yeah.
And this was 125. I think that's, Man of Steel didn't have to compete with all these comic book movies, there's now just been 10 more years, a whole glut of them. And that's what Superman's up against it is battling that fatigue. It's battling the bad taste that the DCU, it doesn't have goodwill with audiences essentially.
Right.
The domestic number, was good, not great. The overseas number was poor.
Yeah.
Right. And you're right.
It was 95. It wasn't great.
Not great. I mean, ideally you want to see the international number be higher than the domestic number. And I always knew, and I'm sure Warner Brothers always knew, that this was more of a domestic play. Without question. Superman, there's something about Superman who's just so representative of America in a sense. And when you look at, how America is thought of in the world today, I can see why it didn't perform that well overseas. It's the Sinners problem, kind of all over again. Now Sinners really overperformed domestic, and that's where I think, like you said, the hold for Jurassic, Fantastic Four coming, just a very competitive time. So we'll see if this thing has legs. But Mendelsohn wrote today in his newsletter, and I'll have a box office breakdown in mind as well, it'd be lucky to hit 650.
Yeah. I think if it gets to 6, it'll be. I'll go even further than Scott, because this is as you said, Jeff. If a film is domestically driven, that's most people are going to see it the opening weekend. And so, is this a film that people are going to go back and see multiple times? That's what the second week is going to tell us. If people are excited to go back and see this film multiple, not the 10 or 15 or 20 or 100 or 1,000 of people who are going to see it multiple times, like are hundreds of thousands, are tens of thousands of people going back to see it multiple times. That's what's going to lead to some strong box office for the movie. But domestically driven, the way it's starting out, I don't think this thing has the strength to get to 6. I would be super surprised if it got to 6. And again, I've been wrong on box office, so take it with a grain of salt. I even think 500 is a question. I even think 500 is a question, brother. I really do.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I think it's possible that there is a world where it doesn't get to 500, but even if it doesn't get to 600,
yeah,
I don't feel like the number. If you're telling me fucking Superman, Warner Brothers' biggest movie is coming out, and granted they didn't know how well Minecraft would do or whatever, and you're telling me that number is going to have a 5 in front of it, I think that they'd be disappointed. We're living in a world of like $2 billion movies and $1 billion movies, and I'm not saying that $1 billion needs to be the mark of success that every movie's measured against. That's a little unfair. But when we're not even talking about 900, 800, 700, like I know why Zaz had to take the victory lap that he did this weekend. That's another thing I'll be talking about. But what is he going to say? Oh, I fucked up. I shouldn't have hired James Gunn to do this. Of course he's going to back his guy and say, well, geez, aren't I a genius for hiring this guy?
This is the weird thing to me. Why are they both doing victory laps after an opening weekend? Because James Gunn issued a statement as well. I get it. You want to thank the fans for coming out. That's totally cool. But like Zaslav coming, it's a 10-year plan. We've got all these. Like, to me, that's a scary thing to say when you don't know the holding power of the film out of the second or third weekend. I think by the second or third weekend, if it's still holding strong, you're getting some great responses, then absolutely, Zaslav, you say all of that. To me, I said this morning on Christian Show, this is like celebrating after the first round of the Schmodown. You have no idea if you're going to do well in the second or third round. So why are you celebrating after the first round? Relax. There's still farther to go. So the statement was so grandiose, and everyone is caught up in this. Oh, they got it right. DC's back, baby. We love it. And it's like, well, if the general public outside of your sphere bubbles of nerddom, spider monkey nerddom, if they don't go to see this film in large numbers, it is not going to hit this. I mean, so many people came out of those Flash initial screenings like, this greatest superhero movie ever made, and it comes out and laid a wet fart. Now, this is a good opening week, not a great. So I would wait till the second or third. So is this a little bit of brand saving, a little bit of trying to get ahead of the narrative? Because this
is on the calendar 6 months ago, John.
What do you mean on the calendar?
In terms of David Zaslav Warner Superman statement.
Oh, with the state was already drafted, is what you're saying.
This was written 6 months ago.
Fair point.
I don't think this had anything to do with the opening. Gunn was always going to get a big vote of confidence from the boss. Right? Everything is a perception in this town, especially. Yeah. And you have to play it off like it's a win. That's why, we went from insiders probably telling THR 700 million.
Yes.
That's a disappointment, to Warner Brothers now managing fucking expectations up the wazoo and saying 500 million is the point, and that the movie's only 225. Like, out of nowhere in the days before this movie came out, suddenly every single outlet's quoting 225 million as the budget. Again, that's the number that they're copping to. That is not the number. This is just box office reporting 101. You'll read about that in the newsletter tonight.
I agree with you 100%.
It is a little early, John, to judge. And, this thing could have legs, but I see some big movies coming out the rest of the summer, and I think Superman's in trouble. And if I was David Zaslav, I'd be nervous about committing to this 10-year plan with this right now.
It's just annoying to see people moving the goalposts conveniently to to cape for the DC brand. Like, No, you don't understand how tough it is for films nowadays. You don't get that. No, this is like an Iron Man movie. It's the opening of a universe. Like, what are you on? This is Superman. Okay, this is the one of the premier superheroes of one of the oldest brands in the world in DC that is currently operating. It is a massive tentpole. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. That's your tentpoles. You can throw Flash in if you like. Those are your tentpoles of the DC universe. And so to act like it's okay that this came in at $500 million when the budget is, let's say 225, and let's be generous, the marketing is only 100. That's 325. If this thing comes in at 500, that is a loss. And I don't care how much of this touchy-feely film, and I'm with you. I love the movie. To people out there, I don't care how much of the touchy-feely fuzzies you feel. It does not mean you knocked this one out of the park or you did anything to necessarily save the brand if the film is not a box office success. It just doesn't make sense. You know?
And that's the thing. It's like in our world these days, everything is just like, oh, it was a huge hit or it was a flop. There's no like calling anything a single or a double. And so all these headlines this week with Superman soars.
Yeah.
Only the $300 million weekend of the year behind Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch. And it's like, yeah, that may be true. And in the context of the rest of this bad year, Superman stands out. But like historically, this is nothing to write home about and not something to do a victory lap on. Again, the movie I'm going to bring up tonight is like Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. That was considered like a flop, and that movie did 475. So if this is 25 million off that, and this is Superman, and that's Ant-Man 3, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Look at this comment up here. Class says Aquaman opened at under 90, but eventually busted the 1 billion mark thanks to the international market. Have you seen the international market numbers? They are horrible for Superman. So you can't even rely on the international market for Superman because it is going to tank even further. It's not like $200 million are going to sneak out of the international market next weekend because all these people are like, you know what? These people that went to see it, they made the $95 million. They're all talking, I'm going to go 200 million. No, it's not going to happen internationally for Superman in the way that other titles have been saved by the international box office on the DC side of things. Not at all. Nothing is indicated.
That's always been the inherent problem to me with Superman as a character is that he's a little boring and predictable. I think Aquaman gets to $1 billion because people are like, well, what's an Aquaman movie look like? And what kind of shit does Aquaman do underwater? Whereas with Superman, you kind of know what he's going to do. You kind of know what this movie is. And that's why I really didn't see many surprises.
Well, Aquaman isn't tied to America, right? Superman is tied to America. So there's a thing about looking at it in that prism as well, that if I'm not saying because of Trump, I think that's irrelevant. It's more a matter of fact that he's an American hero. So do people right now want to go see an American hero that are in international markets? If you're, they haven't done any kind of exit surveys, I don't think, with those people, but the fact that it's coming in this light, this is a dangerous number for them internationally, and it's not going to go up. So you start to want, and I agree with you what you said earlier, like the fact you had James Gunn coming out in an interview in a Variety or THR or GQ saying 700 million is crazy. People are insane. It doesn't need to do that. And the Warners will be happy with 500 million. This is not some regular title. This is not some this is Superman. Batman in COVID made $775 million. Batman during COVID. You tell me Superman outside of COVID in the same calendar, the same 12 months where Deadpool and Wolverine made $1.3 billion, it can't get up there. That's insane.
I do agree in general. There's a segment of the audience that was lost during COVID that was never coming back.
Of course, sure.
That may be reflected in these numbers. But yeah, I don't think this is the home run that it's being pitched as by the trades, who I think, are carrying the water for the studios, right? Try to get that ad in the big fat ad that says $100 million in the fucking magazine. Yeah, it was fine. Everything about this movie, I think, was fine. It was just good enough. Like I'll even go so far as to call the 125 open a win, right?
Sure.
But a home run, no. No, it's not. I'm not going to pretend that it is. So to me, everything about this movie kind of screams single double to me.
Yeah, I think double makes sense. I would give it a double.
Fantastic, which is a home run.
Probably a triple for the reaction from the audience, or maybe a home run for some people in their minds, because for those people that like the movie, it gave them faith back with DC. Now let's go off the money thing. Jeff, what's next? What do you do looking at the numbers? If this thing comes in 5 to 6, or God forbid under 5, which I don't think is going to happen, but if it does, what is the plan going forward with DC? I mean, because you're following up Superman with Supergirl, which is going to have less brand recognition, and then Clayface, which is having even less brand recognition. This feels to me like a colossal misstep that they're not following up with a Batman and Wonder Woman movie right off the bat. Now this looks kind of foolish. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I agree. It's like the first thing you have to do, and again, tip in the newsletter a little bit tonight, but the first thing you have to do is pick a lane. Pick a lane.
Pick a lane. Right.
Pick a lane. Well, what are you doing? Are you having Batman come into this universe?
Yeah.
Or are you going with Reeves and the Batverse? And like, yeah, you have both, but I don't think it sends the message that you want it to send. I think it's just getting greedy and adding, an additional Batman title to the schedule each year. Right. I think you're right I mean, he should be writing a sequel.
Which
apparently he's not, right? Apparently he says that he's not writing a straight sequel, but obviously it is a movie that involves Superman to some extent. So, to me, that signals either World's Finest, which get those other superheroes in there, or it's a Superman versus the Authority movie.
A Superman what?
Superman versus the Authority.
Oh, yeah. Which was rumored there in the past.
I don't know really like what else it could be, unless it's like a Terrifics thing. I mean, I don't know.
No, I don't think. But this feels like Zack Snyder all over again. WB goes, oh my God, this thing. We're going to say we're happy with the numbers, but behind the scenes, we're going to be like, James, you got to announce your Batman stat. Like, we need to see what's going on next. And James even was being coy over the weekend because he can't resist himself on social media. And when someone said, are you working on a sequel? He said for Superman, he goes, define sequel. You know what? Why do we have to be cute? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just fucking say what you're working on or what you're looking at. But it's like,
he doesn't owe anybody a response right now, though. It's like,
and don't respond. Exactly.
Right. I understand why he'd want to keep it under wraps. But yeah, I just don't like the idea of two Batmen running around up there. So if I'm Warner, there's sort of what I'm doing. And to me, it's like you have a Superman who everybody, even like the people who have criticisms of the movie, seems to really love.
Yeah, David Cornsweet. Yeah.
People seem to like that. People seem to like Pattinson as Batman. Why wouldn't you just put these fucking guys together in a movie? And they have very different energies, but like do something with that. Play off of that contrast.
Yeah. I think we're going to get announcements sooner rather than later for what the deal is with Batman. Because they either cancel the Batman Part 2 and just move him into the universe, and then James is writing World's Finest, which he will undoubtedly direct, and then or you're gonna go forward with this Batman Brave and the Bold situation, which I think makes no sense.
Johnny, you're frozen on my screen, just so you know.
Yeah, your internet is going in and out, or is it mine? Is it mine?
Let me see.
Oh, you have a bunch of tabs open? Hold on.
I know.
Maybe it is me. Hold on. Let me get out of some stuff here. There we go. Sorry about that. How about now? Am I better now? Oh.
Now is it just me? Guys.
Sorry about that.
Okay. We're back.
Okay. So, all right. So then what do you think needs to happen here with DC going forward? Like do they make adjustments to this? I mean, Supergirl, they're locked in on, but does Clayface now look like maybe something you push for a bit? You start
I don't know what. I mean, that's the thing. It's like when you're doing a universe, there's all this pressure on you to have multiple titles a year, and they can't all be Batman, Wonder Woman, or Superman. So I understand needing to mix it up and do different stuff. But I just don't understand like why that's the focus right now instead of Superman or Wonder Woman or whatever it may be. Now, I'm not privy to the internal workings of DC, so maybe I don't know what the focus is.
Yeah.
I
mean, how does Matt Reeves look right now with his Batman, his success, and the Penguin success? Like, if this film,
it's not that these are different approaches, right? Like, I'm more cynical, and so I believe that the world is looking for movies like the first Joker, and they like the darkness of the Batman and serial killers versus the Batman. Maybe that's just my taste. This was more colorful and poppy, and it looked more like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
And I think that as exciting as that is to people who grew up reading Superman, I think the $300 million worth of people who would go see the Batman or go see, a dark superhero movie, that it lost them. That's where they lost them.
Yeah. That's the thing. And I see some people in the chat going, they are not going to cancel the Batman. We have no idea. And studios have done crazier and dumber shit in the past. So the question becomes, what are they going to put in motion now? If this film does not have the legs that I don't care what they say. I don't think they're going to be happy with $500 million. That's nonsense to me. For a studio to say that about a major blockbuster, that they're happy about a film not even doing 2.5 times its budget or 2 times its budget, that to me is just madness on so many levels. So I think there is going to be pivoting probably behind the scenes. I'm sure, Jeff, you're going to hear things and maybe break some stuff and scoop some stuff, because I just have a feeling that they are going to make some adjustments here to the schedule, whatever, if this thing doesn't have enough legs over the next 2 years.
If anything, Batman 2, I think, could move up.
Yeah, maybe just to get themselves a win, right? A big win.
Or that, or like to just get it out of the way. And that way we said, I mean, I know he's been talking about this trilogy or whatever.
Yeah.
What if just like right now the conversations are happening where it's like, hey, we're only going to be doing 2 of these, so we'll give you one more to wrap it up. But after that, we're moving on without Robert or whatever.
Right.
I'd want that movie to come sooner rather than later, so people could actually focus on whoever the other Batman is going forward.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether he gets to actually complete the trilogy that he has in mind.
All right. Would you want to say anything more about the DC situation, the Superman situation? Anything more we need to discuss or talk about?
No.
No? Okay. Are you sure? Anything you want to tease in the newsletter?
No, I mean, I'm just looking at it from like a whole different bunch of angles, right? It's a review of the movie. It's a look at the box office. It's a look at what's ahead. And it's, a reminder to trust your own eyes, guys. Like for months, we've gone back and forth. Oh, I hear it's great. Oh, I hear it's terrible. Like, well, who gives a shit what anyone's heard now? Because we've all seen it. And that's what I, want to just impress upon people. Like, I think that those early reactions helped me set my expectations.
Right.
And that's why I maybe came away pleasantly surprised to some extent.
Right.
But that's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to like ruin movies or spoil movies. I'm trying to say, hey man, I know people who've seen this movie and they say X, Y, and Z. Right. And those reactions were all over the place. They weren't all negative. We certainly heard, some positive reviews. And I understand now, having seen it, why they were all over the place.
Yeah.
Because you're bringing so much of ourselves. It's almost like Superman's a mirror. Yeah, this has been it was a divisive movie. I don't think that the reaction was as positive as everybody made it out to be. There were a lot of people I know who were disappointed.
Yeah. I was really surprised at how many people were disappointed looking at through the reviews and looking through and talking to some people that I know. Like
Mance didn't love it. JT didn't love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Scott Menzel wasn't the biggest fan of it over at HCA. So yeah, there's a few people. Yeah. I know Mance and I talked about it after the his screening, and he was just like, I did like Corn Sweat, I liked Rachel, but like and Nicholas, but like overall the film was a bit of a mess. And he said so on KTLI 5, which I was really kind of surprised about. You know, Scott always tries to find the best in these films. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't like it. So I think it had its critics, and I think that
Dan Merle didn't like it, right?
Like,
Exactly.
All those criticisms are fair. But I know the degree of difficulty here, and I'll give Gunn credit for at least taking a swing and trying to do something different.
I mean, he did his version of Superman. You can't deny that. And I think that's, like you said, he deserves credit for that. And certainly it's what a majority of the critics, 83% now in Rotten Tomatoes, over 373 reviews, 93% of 10,000 plus verified ratings on the audience side. So like you can argue that he did a film that was liked by a majority of a large majority of the audience. This isn't 70 or 60%. This is a large majority when you're talking 80 to 90%. A majority of the critics, a majority of the audience enjoyed the movie. Now it's going to be about, does it have legs? Does it have staying power over the next few weeks? And if it does, then you're singing a different tune. But for right now, I think the jury's still out. No matter how much, as you said, Jeff, they write these positive storylines. I'm even looking through Variety and THR. It's like Superman's box office muscle. Superman soars, and it's like this is the first weekend, and it didn't even hit 160, 150, which a lot of trades, including the Wrap, I think, were initially speculating, especially after that $22 million opening on Thursday. The prognostications went up real high, and then it petered out over the weekend. It made less on Sunday than Saturday and less on Saturday than Friday. And that's not a good sign, you know, when you're looking at the staying power of a movie. Man of Steel held from Saturday to Sunday. Sorry.
I'm very intrigued as to how it performs this weekend. Not that there's any giant release, but like you have Smurfs, which is a pretty steady animated performer. Parents are going to be busy taking their kids to see that. You have I Know You Did Last Summer, which I've heard is not very good. I'm going to see it tomorrow night. But you know, like that is a classic slasher IP. You know, does that manage to make 20 million? And then there's Eddington, which, you know, is a small indie movie, but at the same time features some of the biggest movie stars on the planet.
That's true.
So we'll see.
All right. So that should wrap up our Superman discussion. You want to get into some questions here?
Questiones.
Okay, this is a question. But first, I want to ask you, Dexter Resurrection, is it worth it for people who are Dexter fans? Yes.
I mean, dude, I'm a sucker for Dexter. So yes. And the first serial killer that they go after is Mark Menchaca, who I love.
Oh,
if you haven't seen that movie Alone, it's terrific.
Yeah. He's a good actor for sure. All right, cool. All right, let's get into the questions. All right, Ralph. Jeff, if I send you my script and $150 to read it, and if hypothetically you like it, will you point me in the right direction to go further with it?
Yes, Ralph. I already responded to your email. Send it over.
Send it, Ralph.
Send me the money first, and then send it to me.
Send me 10%, Ralph, as a finder's fee. It's on my channel, for God's sakes. SJC36 says, Jeff as Clark is worth the super chat. I agree. He's got a great Clark Kent outfit. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ralph back again. If you do care about reading it, I sent you a DM on Twitter under my handle, Dragon2, with more information.
I'll reply to that one since I don't know if you got the email then. Never mind.
Andrew, hey, what's up, Andrew? Good to see you, brother. He says mutant toes. Yeah, Miss Tessmacher with her mutant toes. Hilarious. I wonder if she's an alien. Do you think she's an alien species? Is that what that's all about?
That's what they're hinting at with mutant toes?
Maybe.
No, I think that was actually like kind of funny. Although I've never really been someone who like put women in their phone like that. Like,
oh yeah, no.
But I don't know if that's why people are calling Jimmy Olsen a misogynist, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny too. I am Two Fly Cam says, could you both see a scenario of Superman 2 being written and directed by someone else? What are the ramifications of this box office, Jeff? I love the cast also. I think we handled the second question already. I'm Two Fly Cam, but yeah, Jeff, what do you think about Superman 2?
No, I cannot imagine it being written and directed by somebody else.
Unless it's his wife, Jennifer Holland. I can't imagine him allowing anyone else.
Again, is the problem. It's like, okay, so he's going to go off and direct another movie while trying to run a studio simultaneously. You know,
yeah.
I thought it was weird. Actually, I was surprised. The biggest surprise of the movie for me was seeing the Saffron Company logo at the end. I was like, why is his, if he's the head of DC, why is his production company going to get a credit? One of the other things I'm going to be writing about tonight is, do you remember Spielberg back in the day? Spielberg's producers were who?
Frank Marshall and Kathleen Kennedy.
That's right. Well, Peter Safran is Frank Marshall.
Okay.
And I think that James Gunn needs his Kathleen Kennedy. And I'm not talking about the Kathleen Kennedy who runs Lucasfilm. I'm talking about the Kathleen Kennedy who came up with Spielberg and was the third leg of the tripod. And I think that is lacking at DC Studios.
But he doesn't want to listen to a Kathleen Kennedy.
He's I am fully aware of that. But I think that he needs to. I think he needs to be saved from some of his own worst impulses.
Himself?
Both as a filmmaker and potentially as a studio head.
That's fair. Robert G. Kinta says the monkey scene reminded me of M. Night putting the critic character in Lady in the Water. Oh, that's right.
Yes. Good call, Robert. That is it's pretty apt. I didn't care for it. I understand it, but it was unnecessary. I
have to agree with that because it when you're calling out critics in your art, I think it's so lame. It's so lame. If you're doing that kind of stuff, I think it's ridiculous because you're giving them more air, or if you're making a video to make fun of people who are coming after you, it's like, or like what you like Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, like all these people did songs in the 90s and 2000s where they were going after the paparazzi or going after the critics of them. And it was like, none of those songs were good. And you all look like idiots for even trying to give them any kind of air. So, yeah.
Well, it's also like if you're Lex Luthor and you have access to nanite technology and you can basically have an army of robots or whatever doing whatever. Why do you need to use monkeys?
Right. You've got a whole team of AI people.
Knife in the ribs. Yeah.
Nope. Would you like a Daily Planet HBO Max show? Yes, I would. Yes. Christopher Spreezy says, hello from Greece. Hello, Christopher. Jeff, is there anything you can tell us about Starfighter? Do you think Gosling will be a Jedi and his nephew is a Padawan?
You're speaking a different language to me. I don't even know. A Padawan? Is a Padawan? What is a Padawan, John?
Padawan is like a student to a Jedi master.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know the specifics of that, but
like Ahsoka was Anakin's Padawan.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if Gosling's a Jedi or if he's just a normal dude who has to save his nephew. I don't know.
Yeah. Someone's got to be the Starfighter, right? GoPala101 says Supergirl gave me major Avril Lavigne vibes. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I like Avril Lavigne, so I don't think it's a bad thing.
I liked her too, but that aim goes like what I was saying. Like it's just a very emo-y movie, a little bit.
Yeah. By the way, I know people are going to hate me saying this. Girlfriend, that's a low key banger. I don't care what anyone says from Avril. Bajoro 3 says Superman cried about a kaiju dying, yet felt nothing when sending a twin into a black hole. Should have been an existential moment. /Pa Kent words hit. Well, no, it's a clone. Right? Whereas the kaiju is an actual thing, a creature that has existed and had a life. This is a clone. So I think it's kind of a different scenario, in my opinion. What do you think, Jeff?
I thought the kaiju thing was stupid. And yeah, him feeling bad about the kaiju was stupid. And it's just like taking your theme a little bit too far of like kindness is everything.
What about saving the squirrel? Was that too far? Saving the squirrel?
No, I like that as a little comic aside. But yeah, when it's like, oh no, poor little kaiju, like, then don't be Superman. Then I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Fair point. Alan Smithy, watched the Juve interview. Jeff loved it. You hadn't seen any of his films before the fight. What were the first Uwe Boll movies you watched after the brawl? Great insight into the streaming biz and his A Hammer film.
I don't have any recollection of seeing any of the movies before the fight. When I applied to the fight, I hadn't seen anything. I think Postal was one of the first ones that I saw after, and I like Postal. But thank you for watching it. It was a good chat with Uwe, and that will be in the newsletter soon as well.
Yeah, and that is out there on Uwe Boll's YouTube channel if you want to see Jeff. A current interview with Jeff and Uwe Boll talking about.
I thought we were going to have it on this channel, John. There was a miscommunication. It's like, why did you send me the file?
Yeah,
you're just going to put up on your YouTube.
There was no miscommunication. Uvi's like, I will not put my work on another man's channel. I totally respect. Based MMA says, what have you heard from Fantastic Four? I'm worried about the short runtime. Hopefully it's not a rushed film. Those test screenings were great. Yeah, but that was at a Comic-Con. I'm not going to put much stock in a Comic-Con test screening. So,
I mean, I think it'll be good. I've heard decent things. I like the short runtime. I like the short runtime for Superman. I like that I'm not there all fucking night until my ass goes numb. Again, with Mission Impossible, it was just like I was doing so much eye rolling, and I wasn't really rolling my eyes during Superman.
Yeah.
That's why I think it was the better movie, even though there are parts of Mission Impossible that I think are just way better than anything in Superman.
Well, that's why I'm confused why you say you won't watch it again, because you did enjoy the experience. So I don't understand.
Never watching Final Reckoning again either.
Wow.
Or Jurassic World Rebirth. I think Reckon. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to tip the grade, but yeah.
That movie, I rolled the fuck out of myself out of the theater with Jurassic World. It was so bad. Robert Giaquinta was not a fan of Superman. As a person who's never read a comic, I felt lost during the majority of it and felt the humor pulled the movie down. Yeah, a few people feel this way. So I think this is a legitimate super chat to send in. Thank you, Robert. And yeah, some people, like, I was worried about it when I was watching the movies. Like, I don't think regulars or casuals who don't read the comics are going to get how easy they're just bringing these characters in and escorting them out of the movie. Those of us who know the characters in the comics understood the impact and why they were there. But yeah, I'm not surprised that people like you felt this way, Robert. What do you think here, Jeff?
Yeah, I think the humor was hit and miss. There were times that it really worked. I said I really liked what Beck was doing. He's from SNL, not everyone is a trained SNL performer.
Oh, man. Him on the phone was hilarious. Put him on the phone. See, Black, Matt Reeves played the long game against Gunn. I mean, maybe, Jeff.
We'll see. I mean, I hate that they're like being pitted against each other. But yeah, I just don't know if the strategy works.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. C Black also says Gunn is finding out that Feige's job is not easy. Well,
I think that's true. I don't think Kevin has an easy job at all. I thought that was interesting that the Wall Street Journal obviously said, and I mean, it's a no-brainer that DC tried to hire Feige before Gunn.
Yeah. Josh McKenzie, Batman is a Zaz call. JG is his guy, not having two. Not having two Batman?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Only JG stood for Jake Gyllenhaal.
JM says, love what Jeff is doing with his hair. Yes, the curl looks great.
Thank you.
I mean, you're committing to the bit for the whole show. Respect, dude. Michael Baldwin, Gunn writes World's Finest with Pattinson. Reeves is the producer and Zack Snyder directs. Yes, I know this will never happen. I would fucking love to see that happen. That would be amazing. Oh, amazing. I don't think Snyder would ever do it. Snyder would never be under both Matt Reeves and James Gunn. He just would never do that. He would never do that.
If there is a top secret writer working on something involving Superman and Batman, do you know who I think it is?
Who is it?
Who's a writer that you'd want to keep under wraps if you're James Gunn?
I don't know. David Goyer? I don't know. Who?
Joss Whedon.
Oh, Joss. Do you think this could be James Gunn giving him a way back, considering how James Gunn went through the canceling thing and found his way back? Do you think? Oh, interesting. Joss Whedon writing a World's Finest for James Gunn to direct? Goodness gracious, man. I think you're going to blow up the internet if you do that. All right, man. Sinister McCall says, heard anything on Eddington? My prediction is Phoenix and Pedro, who politically disagree, will team up against an evil cult and have a crazy shootout. Seems like that's what's happening, Jeff. You might have broke the movie here.
I don't think that that's quite what happens. But I have not seen it. I've heard good things. I have a couple friends who've seen it at this point, and they really liked it. And I have my tickets for Friday night.
I think I'm supposed to. I think there's a screening. Did I skip? I might have skipped my screening for Eddington. I skipped my Smurf screening over the weekend for sure.
Loser.
And I'll probably, and I'll probably skip the I Know What You Did Last Summer screening tomorrow night. I mean, I'm not a fan of that whole franchise, so I don't care.
We know.
Who's we, motherfucker? Oh no, tonight. If I was to go to Eddington, it would be tonight down the street. I'll just wait. I'll see it in the theater. Let's see, where are we? Ice Hat Rocky. Jeff's take almost exactly reflects how I felt. I like the leads mostly. The Holt kind of swung between menacing and annoying for me. I did love Crypto though. Appreciate you both. Thank you.
Yeah, I do think Ice Hag Rocky, like, there's just something. He was maybe the least satisfying part of it for me, and I'd been told to watch out for him beforehand, that he was like the great new DC villain, and I didn't quite love him.
There you go. Matt Sinister McCall says, Jeff, can you please start a channel? You're the best.
No, I could never start my own channel. I got to have John pull all the levers for me, hit the buttons.
Oh, that's so fucking true, Matt Sinister. Samo, thoughts on rumors that Legendary buys Lionsgate? I hope so. Make better content.
I don't know what the price would be, but I like that in terms of like two smaller studios, if you will, teaming up. Yeah. Lionsgate has an infrastructure that Legendary doesn't. It also has IP that Legendary would probably like to get its hands on.
Good point.
I like it. Yeah. I hope it happens. Although obviously it would mean one less buyer for the town.
Oh, that's a good point. But there's always something that pops up. There's always a new company that pops up. Matt Sinister McCall, Rocha, why are you not a Dexter fan? Season 1 of 4 and 4 is fire. I just don't like Michael C. Hall. He bores me to fucking tears. He was the worst part of 6 Feet Under, and he's just too far up his own ass. And so when I watch him in the shows, I can't get rid of that in my head. So I just don't enjoy. I watched season 1 of Dexter. I thought it was a good season. I like Jennifer Carpenter. I love David Zayas. He's always been one of my favorite actors. And I forget the
Dopes is so good.
Yeah, right. But but I couldn't go forward with it. I think it's weird that he married his sister on the show in real life. That's just weird.
It was a weird story.
Right? DBZ now says the monkey thing is just a comic book type of thing. It's not supposed to be realistic. The MCU can do realistic, not the DCU. Bullshit. Go watch Man of Steel. That's pretty fucking realistic for what it was. You can do realistic with DC. Do you want me to show you Dark Knight Returns? Do you want me to show you some of these more edgier, darker, grounded type of approaches to DC?
That is what I'll say. I didn't really talk about Man of Steel, but there are parts of Man of Steel that I liked more than anything I saw in Superman.
I mean, to me, I like Man of Steel more than Superman. I like them both, though, but I love Man of Steel. So, yeah. Masters McCall, why can we not have Bizarro instead of Ultraman? Well, Bizarro's coming. He's going to come out of the black hole. Ultraman is and become Bizarro. So that's why you didn't see a body.
This is such dork shit you guys are talking about. Well, Bizarro is going to go to the black hole. It's going to come out as Ultraman.
Oh, sorry, writer guy. Are we being too dorky for you, writer guy?
Kiss you guys are talking about.
Kiss my ass with your full. You're like what's his face in Reality Bites? Ethan Hawke.
Ultraman will return.
Lord Beerus says they keep rebooting never top tier newer villains. I was so upset Soups didn't hit Darkseid and they nerfed Ultraman. Injustice rebooted all. Yeah. I think no one who wasn't already in one camp was changed by seeing the movie. I think everyone who was in their camps stayed in their camps overall, and that's that. C Black, how long does WB hang in with Gunn? Supergirl? Yeah, what do you think, Jeff? I don't think he's on the table, do you?
I mean, Supergirl, if Superman is going to struggle to hit 500 or 600, what do we think Supergirl is going to hit?
Yeah. That's a $300 million movie? Maybe.
Like 250 to 400. Like,
in no way it's less than 100 to make that movie.
Exactly. Just because. So, I don't know, man.
I mean, you've got Supergirl and Clayface. If there's no Batman movie in the pipeline to keep people excited and in anticipation, I think it's going to be trouble.
Again, if it was Emma Stone or like the equivalent of Emma Stone 5 years ago or something, Supergirl, it'd be a different story. Like Margot Robbie as Batman. If it's just some girl from Game of Thrones, like, I don't know, man.
Dude, Emma Stone, Supergirl, that's a winner right there 5 years ago.
Exactly. I'm just like this girl, Millie Alcock. She made David again. David was great. I probably said the same thing a year and a half ago when they announced David, but doesn't do much for me, Millie.
Ralph, new trailer for One Battle After Another was great. Oh, I didn't know there was a new one released.
No, Ralph, you are incorrect on that. The old trailer was definitely superior.
Jim 1, are people tired of cinematic universes with endless spin-offs and TV shows and want to return to a simpler time of standalone Spider-Man, Batman, X-Men? I think so.
I think so.
Right? I think people are tired of it now, mostly because these haven't been effective overall. If they were effective, people wouldn't care because they would be excited to see the next thing and go back and rewatch the previous thing. But when people aren't excited about interconnected universes and you're not doing it consistently well, people tune out. They check out because they got too many things to worry about in life.
Yeah. I feel like this whole blueprint of 10 years in the universe, it's all like too late, man. Like it's already losing steam over at Marvel.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Robert Giaquinto says the Dokes cameo in Dexter was amazing.
It was.
Doug, developer in here, says, Jeff, when can we expect Beef Season 2? I can't wait.
That's a good question. I don't know if that is a fall because I never finished Beef Season 1. I watched a few episodes. And I liked what I saw, but I never finished it for some reason. Good. I forget if that is coming out this fall or if it's early next year. Part of me wants to say early next year. They have a lot in the hopper this fall.
SJC360, Supergirl has the secret sauce, Jason Momoa. Hey, you're not wrong. Momoa took those super Aquaman movies way beyond where anyone expected on either one of those. So,
dude, where was Momoa in this movie? I thought he was going to be the post-credit sequence.
That could have been fun. Yeah, that could have been fun. James P. Jeff, what did you think about F1? Just read on your blog that it was one of your standouts.
I thought it was a blast. One of the best times I had in the theater all year. Just a studio, like a crowd-pleasing popcorn movie with a great movie star turn from Brad Pitt.
F1 better than Superman?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Michael Baldwin, Coogler directs Mr. Terrific, helps a young Static Shock become a hero and get his friend Black Lightning out of prison for a crime he did not commit.
Definitely what I want to see. Ryan Coogler wastes his career directing fucking comic book movies about B characters. Holy shit.
I mean, I would love to see him direct a Mr. Terrific or executive produce a Mr. Terrific series. But I see your point, Jeff. You're right. Like, he just did Sinners. And that shows you the potential of Ryan Coogler as a filmmaker. And now you want to move him down into this area for your own personal desire. I can see that point of view. Yeah.
But it's funny that you say that because I do have Ryan Coogler working with Eddie Gathegi in something else.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think this is going to do wonders for Eddie's career. I think a lot of people are going to see this movie and like him. And I think
you're right. I think you're right. I think if there's a role that Coogler may have that is just crying out to be him.
Lord Beerus, Mark Bright. Wait. I'm not going past that. Wait a second. Are you saying that you think Eddie Gathegi could be Black Panther?
No.
Okay. Something else.
Yeah.
Outside the world of comics?
I
don't know what you're doing. What is
it?
You
know what that was?
Is that X-Files? Are you talking about X-Files? Oh, so you
see him as Fox Mulder?
I could totally see him as Fox Mulder. Wow. So you're saying that you think, or have you heard?
No, think.
Okay. So you think that we could get seeing Eddie Gathegi working with Ryan Coogler in that X-Files?
Be a good pairing.
I like that idea. Lord Beerus, make Brightburn DC canon and start a DC and Justice League film run. It's the only way they save DC from mediocrity. The shock factor is dying like Alien. No way. They're not going to do a serious approach to DC. I mean, they laid it out.
I did like Brightburn.
Poisonous Plants 15, Gran Turismo over F1. No way. Turismo was good.
Good. Yeah, I agree. Definitely good, but not quite F1 level.
You can tell me any of those guys can stand up to Brad Pitt's star power. You're already
more emotional though.
Yeah. Dropping McCool. Static Shock has potential. How dare you? Haha. Like 10 people. But the thing is, Static Shock is not known by a lot of people. So you'd have to work really hard to get that across the finish line. No offense. All right, let's get to these Streamlabs, Jeff. What have we got here? Figgy, is there any truth to the rumor that Sydney Sweeney is the top choice for a Bond girl A lot of people shooting the rumor down. A lot of people promoting the rumor. What do you hear, Jeff? Anything?
Be a shame if she wasn't.
All right, so that passes your smell test, at least initially.
Absolutely. I mean, this is like one of the most desired women on the planet. Of course you want to get her as a Bond girl if you can. And she's someone who's never shied away of playing off of her sexuality. See her tackling it with aplomb and, having no problem, coming off as a sex object or whatever, but, naturally injecting something interesting into it. I think it'll all depend on who Bond is and, whether she looks good next to Bond.
Good point. Mike McKenzie says, hey, John, The Last of Us Season 2 just released a Chronicle Order mode for the game. Oh, sorry, the wrong one. Sorry about that. Tim, Jeff, can you confirm Daniel RPK's report that Avengers Doomsday second unit director Robert Alonso was indeed fired due to, quote, dissatisfaction of his work? What does this say about Doomsday's production, plus the rumors that the third act isn't even finished?
I have not heard anything about an AD being let go. That's a good scoop, though, if that's true from Daniel. I think that is a fucking chaotic shoot, and the fact that we haven't heard more about it is a miracle.
Yeah. Let's see. I am Too Fly Cam. Gunn gives almost no explanation and throws the audience into the middle of the universe. My girlfriend was utterly confused the first 30 minutes. I want to see this universe continue and get my Martian Manhunter. Peacemaker got the biggest pop in the both showings I saw of the movie. That was a good cameo, Peacemaker, for sure.
I forgot to say what the best part of the movie was.
I asked you what the best part of the movie was.
And now I know what it is.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the crawl.
Oh, the opening crawl of the movie.
I thought the crawl was terrific.
I agree. I like that too.
Just a great piece of writing.
And when it started, initially I was like, oh, fuck, is this going to be one of those, like, let me just explain everything? And
I immediately smiled. I was like, oh, I like this. I like this.
Right on. Fredtastic 314. Hey, Hot Mike, loving this episode. In my headcanon, the message was corrupted in the crash, and Lex had the engineer create a false message damaging Superman's character. He saw the message at first about doing good comes from the goodness of the Kents. We'll see. I think it's still up in the air. We'll see. The Glimmercast. Do you think profits from Minecraft Sinners and F1 distribution are cushioning WBD's loss, and that's why they're spinning the $125 million debut and $500 million goal as a win? Yeah. Do you think they're saying that as like, because the other films have been successful more than they anticipated? That'll give them a little bit more of a financial cushion if Superman doesn't hit the $600 or $700 million range. Do you think that's part of their?
I think Warner Brothers is having a good year. Regardless, I guess I'm confused, a little confused by the question.
It's just saying that because these films have overperformed, does that allow them to not need Superman to hit $600-700 million, that they can take the hit easier and keep going forward the James Gunn?
I think that's only natural.
Right.
It's all about how poorly one battle after another performs.
Oh, good point.
He is practically budgeted as a superhero movie. So
yeah. I think it's funny that like 3 or 4 months, 5 months ago, we were like, Warner Brothers is on the ropes. What's going to happen? Blah, blah, blah. And then like these movies have come out and just, I bet, hit it.
There's no question that Minecraft overperformed, that Final Destination overperformed, that Sinners overperformed. F1, I think, also performed better than people were expecting.
400 million almost. Yeah.
Yeah. This movie, I think, again, domestically, probably in line with what expectations should have been all along.
Right.
What Warner Brothers did, again, was buy themselves some time and kick the can down the road, because they bumped one battle after another. They pushed that back a month and a half. They pushed back the David Robert Mitchell movie, Flowervale Street, with Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway, to next summer. So just some movies that I think, The Bride is another one that they pushed. So, yeah, those movies don't just disappear.
Yeah. Jay said, John and Jeff, does Gunn know that the horror community is different than comic book for the Clayface movie? Because cinema scores for horror movies tend to be different, and they should move Supergirl to May because Toy Story comes out first. Yeah, Supergirl's in a rough release date, which could, once again, just like Superman, be affected by other movies taking box office away from them.
I think it moves.
Yeah, I think so too. Carl, hey, Jeff, have you heard about a Justice League International project being in development?
Nope.
Yeah. I think it's too early for that. Klaus, hi, Jeff. Have you heard about any filmmakers or actors that have met with DC Studios recently?
No.
Okay. Tess, Jeff, is David Fincher still working on his Squid Game?
I believe so.
Do you think that we finished it over the weekend. Do you think that ending is to lead into the American version? And is that
I do. I don't know why you would include that scene.
Yeah.
Unless there was some type of connection or you were trying to communicate that the game is larger. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was a connection.
Yeah. The thing that confused me is that the person we saw is doing the thing that the person on the lower rung does. So does that mean there's someone even bigger than that person who's going to be in charge of the American version? That's going to be interesting to see, considering how big of a star the person was that we saw at the end of Squid Game season 3. So.
Right.
Yeah. I like that season, by the way. I've seen some people criticize it. I enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed it
too. And I was talking about it this morning on FYC. I keep forgetting that like the season that's up for Emmys now is season 2, which I was a little disappointed. I mean, it was okay, but
it's because it was half a season.
Season 1.
It's because it was half a season, Jeff.
Right. So we're still going to be talking about Squid Game season 3 next summer.
Yep.
For awards, which is crazy. I mean, next fall, really, which is great.
We're by the way, we're 6 episodes into Ballard. It's not Bosch, but it's good. I'm enjoying Ballard. I like Maggie
from the trades.
Yeah, and I like I can't remember the name of the African American actress who plays her partner. She's in Abbott Elementary. She's fantastic. She is a standout in the show.
I watched this weekend. I can't talk about Johnny, but oh my, I'll tell you off the air. It was
okay.
Excellent.
C Black says, I disagree with the comic universe thing. MCU have the biggest card to play X-Men. Yeah, but X-Men doesn't have to be connected to the, you don't have to like make offshoots and stuff like that. X-Men can be singularly and then eventually add on. That's the difference there. And then eventually X-Men will, but you know, they're going to pare everything down after Secret Wars. Like all those extra teams and heroes, people are going to die like crazy all over those movies. And they're not coming back.
Again, I just want to see good stories. Whether if they're connected and they're still good, great. But I don't need a worse story so that we can cram in 3 minutes of Supergirl because we're just going to be a Supergirl movie.
That's true. Michael Baldwin, Jeff, I disagree. The impact of Static Shock movie in the black community would be huge, and Coogler would be enough to get people interested.
I mean, am I like? I don't think I'm that out of touch with the black community. You really think the black community is going to like parade through the streets because they're getting a Static Shock movie?
Yeah.
I don't know that I, saw Black Panther being the cultural juggernaut that it ultimately became, but like, I'm not getting that from Static Shock.
That's the rare one that I got right is the Black Panther one. I did see that coming. I'm too a debt back for Pirates will happen. Mark my words. Yeah, Jeff. It seems like we're leaning towards that. It seems like Bruckheimer wants it to happen. I'm sorry, Joel Silver wants it to happen. I think, and so, or is it Bruckheimer? I think it's Bruckheimer. Sorry. So, do you think it seems like that's going to happen? Don't you think?
Nah.
No, really. Still.
Okay. Nah, I don't know, dog. I mean, shit, Jerry Bruckheimer. Unless you're whipping out the checkbook, baby, this is still a Disney franchise based on a Disney ride, and I don't know if I see Disney writing that check.
All right, fair point. All right, that's all the Streamlabs, I think, and all the super chats, Jeff. Right on time, 90 minutes. Let's get on out of here. Please let people know where they can find you and where they can subscribe to your newsletter and see the other stuff you got covering.
Sneider.com, a full review, a full breakdown, box office, everything that I'm hearing, everything DC. It's going to be a bonanza.
There you go.
And yeah, I just have to write it.
Yeah. And listen, 800 of you watching right now, please remember to subscribe to the channel down below. Marching slowly to 40,000 subscribers. Help me get there. I got shorts coming. I got more Geek Buddy stuff happening this week. Jedi Way's probably back. And, of course, another episode of the Hot Mic coming up later this week as well. And maybe even an episode of The Truth midweek to talk about something that's bugging me in the world of entertainment. So look for all of that.
Handle the truth?
What's that?
Will I be able to handle the truth?
You can't handle the truth. Tell the truth. All right. I'll talk to you guys. We'll talk to you guys next time on another brand new episode here of the Hot Mic. Enjoy yourselves. Peace until then.